Peace, peace, peace. Greetings, Dumelang. Love and light to you all. Family, welcome to another YouTube video with me, your host, Mathix Mahlangu. Now, I don't know if I've ever told you this before, but that actually is my name. It's not a nickname, it's a name my dad gave me. I actually have 5 names. Today I'll tell you 2. One of my other names is Tagatso, which means laughter and joy. That's the name my mom gave me after I was born. She said that she was very happy and joyous, and she felt that, this guy. And so, in many people's lives, actually, I've always represented that, which is cool. Names are very powerful things. And then another name is Zweletu, which means Israel to our nation. So yeah, I'll tell you the other names as you get to know me more and more throughout these videos. But on today's video, let's get to it. Today we're going to be talking about the 5th dimension. So now, before we get into that, remember to like and to subscribe, all the details. Click the notification, share it with your friends, and 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. But for the real deal juice, because I want you guys to have a real deal. I want you to sip 100% juice on this channel. So we're going to be talking about the 5th dimension. What is that? Real quick, what's happening? Because you're gonna come across it if you have already not on your path, on your journey. You'll hear people talk about the 5th dimension. So first of all, what are dimensions? I want to speak to you about dimension because there's many angles that you can approach them in, but dimensions, the way that I'm going to approach it is speaking about it from a vibrational state. So dimensions are planes of existence separated by vibration, by frequency. So we learn about dimensions to say that, okay, they say that the first dimension is length, and then the second dimension contains length and width, and then the third dimension, which is what we live in, contains length, width, and depth within it. So like if you were to go to, okay, so basically if everything that you see on a piece of paper, let me show you for an example. So if you look at this is 2D. Even though it may be depicting a 3D object, but it's still on a 2D flat surface. So that would be the second dimension, which is length and width. And so now when you add depth into it, you get the 3rd dimension. So let's say you go to movies and you're watching a movie in 3D and the images seem to be coming out, like there's depth within them. That would be 3D. Basically your life, what your eyes show you, is 3D. And it's said that the 4th dimension includes time. So they say that the 4th dimension is time. But now, talking about the 5th dimension, before I even get into it to tell you what it is, I want to read to you something here from this beautiful book, one of my most favorite books. It's called, I've spoken about this book before, Dark Light Consciousness, Melanin, the Serpent Power, and the Luminous Matrix of Reality by Edward Bruce Bynum, PhD. This is the book right here. Let me just, so you see it. Bam. My lady actually ordered this book, when was it? 2-3 years ago. And it got shipped here. So I want to read to you a passage in here. It's called Light as a 5th Dimensional Force. Light as a 5th Dimensional Force. And I might maybe take a picture and show you on the screen. So it says here, the opening passage, this is from the Upanishad. It says, one so freed from the bondage of senses transcends all material relation, and becoming all supreme light regains his own self. This indeed is the self. It is beyond mortality, beyond fear. It is truth. Truth is only another name of the absolute. I totally messed that up while reading. I have to read it again. This is so beautiful for me to have read it like that. Jeez, dude, really? I see shy foods. Nine. Here. We're taking it again. Bah, second round. One so freed from bondage of senses transcends all material relation and becoming all supreme light regains his own self. This indeed is self. It is beyond mortality, beyond fear. It is truth. Truth is only another name for the absolute. Woo! And they're talking about light as a fifth dimensional force. So if the fourth dimension is time, and time only being another aspect of space, because the Africans told you about it, they said that time is what? They said that time is iskati, and they said that space is what? Space is umkati. So Einstein, of course, wasn't the first to discover this. Of course, he wasn't the first to come up with the theory of relativity. Just as Pythagoras was not the first, just as Christopher Columbus didn't discover America, just as Jan van Riebeeck didn't discover the south of Africa. They are only the students who became to the modern, so-called modern world. Yeah, these people were the ones that came up with all these things. When the blueprints, and not only just the blueprints, when the actual details of what these things were there in ancient times. But we're going to continue on here because we're talking about the fifth dimension. So let's check this out. I want to read to you some of the passages or some of the lines or some of the sentences that I actually, as I was reading this book, I think a year ago or 2 years, 3 years ago, I want to read one part I underlined here. It says that light is associated with spirit. Ooh. So if light is the fifth dimension, I want to read to you some of these and then we're going to get into it. Light is associated with spirit. The bird, along with the serpent and the frog, are primordial images of transformation throughout worldwide shamanic traditions. I'm just reading to you some of the parts that I underlined here. Okay, let's see. In the pyramid of Uranus, on its walls are found actual star maps and pathways of travel for the Ba in celestial flight. The Ba is what they call the soul. So in ancient Egypt, they had names for the spirit, the soul, and everything that we have. So they had a symbol of arms that, like if you were to do this is Ka. So bam, 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 bam. This is Ka. Ka means the spirit, and that was represented by the two hands. And then Ba was represented by a bird with the head of by a bird with the head of a man. So, or man, woman, whatever, humanoid being. That represented the soul. So what it means is that once you are able to ascend into the fifth dimensional plane of existence, which is light, then your Ba can take flight in spiritual travel. Guys, I'm not ready for what I'm about to drop on you. About the fifth dimension. Not even ready. The all is consciousness itself. Light is not only a form of energy, but it is also the vibration of a fifth dimension. We are literally enfolded in higher and higher orders of dimensions and vibration. What? We have come to understand matter. That is to say, our currently accepted three descriptions of matter that compose our physical bodies is to be formed or composed of light. Okay, I think that's all the parts that I wanted to read to you before we get into this. Let's see here. All right. Remember, dark light consciousness. Family. What is the fifth dimension? Let's talk about it. in the new age, you must be careful. In the new, I went through this. The new age will have you thinking that religion will have you thinking that something or someone is gonna come from somewhere to come and save you, or that someone already did something and now you don't have to do anything, and all you have to do is just like, and come on. What the fifth dimension is a state of being. When you hear about it, like when you watch most YouTube videos and they talk about the fifth dimension, they make it seem like this, aliens are gonna land on the earth and they're gonna expose the reptilians, the Rockefeller's gonna be arrested, the 13 families ruling the world, all these things are gonna be exposed, and then spaceships are gonna land, and come on, like and people in 2012, actually, you know that some people burnt their houses, and some of them gave up businesses, and some of them because they thought that 2012 was the end of the actual world, the physical world as we know it. Whereas the ancient Mayans, who were the descendants or who learned from the ancient Olmecs, because the ancient Olmecs had calendars for everything. I mean, you think that the Mayan calendar is amazing. Wait until you see what the Olmecs were dealing with, because their time, their time calculations were insane. These people had daily calendars, weekly calendars, they had monthly calendars, yearly calendars. They had calendars for what they call the Great Year, which dealt within which was about 24 to 26,000 years. They had calendars that spanned into the millions of years. And those calendars were to map the conscious evolution of consciousness itself. That's how amazing these people were. The Olmecs. It said that the word Olmec actually means the rubber people, which were found in South America. They said that they actually went to South America from the African continent, so they migrated there thousands of years ago. And these people gave us, the information that they give us is astonishing. Even if you look up the Olmecs and you see the statues of those big heads, you can see, okay, damn, how did they do this? These were the same people. These were the same people that were responsible. And when I'm saying these, I'm not specifically just talking about the Olmecs. I'm talking about the different dynasties, the different African empires that ushered in this universal cosmic knowledge, from the Dogons to the Zulus to the Babedis to the Yoruba to the people in Nigeria to Ethiopia to the people in the South Pacific to the people in Antarctica to the people in North. Come on, the fifth dimension. We're getting into it. The fifth dimension is a state. So what the Olmecs and the Mayans were speaking about when they said that 2012 was going to be the end of the world, they weren't talking about the end of the physical world as we know it. They were talking about that would be the end of an age. Even if you read a certain verse in the Bible where the disciples ask Jesus, they say, how will we know that the end times have come, Joe? How will we know? And he says that I will be with you until the end of the what? The age. I will be with you until the end of the age. And when you get there, he says, go to a house and you will see a man bearing or holding a vase of water. All this is symbology. That was a symbolic explanation of how the cycles of time, Jesus being the Son of God, the S-O-N, as they say, he's the only begotten Son. He's the light, he's the star. And remember, we said that the fifth dimension is a light dimension. So it deals with light, and light is a slowed down vibration, which is now what you call matter. So anything physical is nothing but a slowed down vibration of light or energy. So the S-O-N is the S-U-N. So the Son of God was saying to the disciples, which are the 12 zodiac signs, he was saying, how you will know that the end has come is that you will see a man holding a jar of water. That is the sign of Aquarius. If you look at the 12 zodiac signs from Aries to Taurus down to Pisces, the sun moves in these 12 constellations through a period of 2,000 years. So it spends 2,000 years in one sign, 2,000 years in another sign. This is the great year, because it moves through that in smaller orbits, which is where you get your months from. So January, February, March, April, May, and then you get your different star signs. So now we're talking about the great year. So the sun spends 2,000 years in each sign. So the age that we are coming from the last 2,000 years, we were in the age of Pisces, which is why they call Jesus the fisher of man. He says, I will make you fishers of man. That's why when he went and he was looking for his disciples, some of his disciples were fishermen. And he told them, he's like, cast your net to the right side and you will catch the fish. So all of this is symbolism. So we are moving from the age of Pisces, which is the age of the fish, which is the age of water, which is the age of religion, which is the age of belief, which is the age of, just being immersed in the depth of water. And now we are coming out of that and we are moving into the age of Aquarius, which is the age of knowledge, which is the age of technology, and not just physical technology, but biological technology. That's why you see all this advancement in technology, virtual reality, cell phones, cars, airplanes, telescopes, all these particular things. All of them are nothing but a replica of the technology that is advancing inside of you. Because the telescopes that they are now inventing to look at the different star systems from Sirius to the Draco constellations, that is nothing but the ancient abilities that are now coming back through the biological technology, which is your third eye. Because the ancients had the ability to look at planets thousands of kilometers away, millions of kilometers away. They knew about star systems before they even were dealing with telescopes, because they had that Ba ability. Remember, we said that the Ba is the soul. And so they had that ability to take spiritual flight. And so they could go visit these distant and these remote planets and interact with different entities. And that's what the fifth dimensional is. Because what allows you to travel on a fifth dimensional level, which is a light plane or a light dimension, is your level of consciousness. So your consciousness determines your rate or your vibratory state. So the level in which you are vibrating consciously determines what level of the universe you are able to perceive, because all levels of the universe exist simultaneously. In one taxi, in one cab, you can have someone who's tripping on cosmic things, and you could have someone stressing about being fired from work. You could have someone who's a shaman and who knows the mysteries of all not of all things, but of the most mysterious things. And you could have someone who has no idea that this person's level of thought even exists, because they haven't tapped into it yet. So that's what they mean when they're saying that parallel worlds exist. So now when we are dealing with the fifth dimension, what the fifth dimension is actually about is about now the collective humanity moving into a state of light or awareness, because light is awareness. Remember, when you read in the Bible, they speak a lot about light, saying that everything that is done in darkness will be brought into light, or Jesus will be their lamb and God will be their light, and the lamb is the light of the body and all of that. What all of that is speaking about is the igniting of this third eye, or the first eye, because it is the first eye before these two eyes are born. But when this ignites in not just one human but in many humans, then we are moving into the fifth dimension. Because remember, we exist on an individual level where you have your own thoughts, your own energy, but we also have a collective vibratory state. So when I'm conscious and you are conscious and your neighbor is conscious and the brother over there is conscious and sister over there is conscious, then we raise the whole vibration of the oversoul of humanity. And when we do that, we move consciously as a collective into a state where we begin to understand as a collective and not just as individuals that we are not the program, but we are the programmer. We are not the code, but we are the coders. So we the one who write the code. But in the lower dimensions, in the third dimension that we have been dealing with, which just deals with the senses, taste, touch, sight, sound, and smell, we've been thinking that we are our body, we are our senses, we are this physical, we are what happens to us, not knowing that what happens to us is because what we do or what we think and what we feel on a causal level that brings forth things as the result of actions or experiences in the experiential level. Because there's two worlds. There's the causal world and then there's the world of effects. So the causal world is the light plane. That's the fifth dimension. It's the world of cause. The lower planes are the third dimension. That's where you get to experience what is birthed in the fifth dimension, in the light planes. Remember, words become things. Thought becomes things. As a man thinketh, so is he. So your thoughts are nothing but light vibrations. Your thoughts are nothing but light frequencies. And those light frequencies transform themselves as they slow down to become actions in the physical world. So when you are dealing with the fifth dimension, it's a dimension where you bridge time and space. It's a dimension where you begin to manifest instantaneously. It's a dimension where you begin to think things and answers happen. It's a dimension when you begin to wake up and look at your clock and it's 222 and it's 111 or it's 555, or you think of someone and they call you immediately, or you're looking for something and you find it within a short period of time. Why? It's because you are now bridging the dimensions. You are now moving past the mundane state of you thinking that you are the body to you knowing that you are that which programs the body. So that's what the fifth dimensional state is. When it's not a thing of aliens are gonna land and all of a sudden all of us are gonna just be hugging and kissing. No, the fifth dimension starts as a personal experience where you raise your vibration. And once you raise that vibration, you begin to feel, you begin to see things, you begin to know things, you begin to dream about the next day, even the next week, the next month, the next year. Because why? The rate of vibration in which that now you are functioning in is faster than the body. Cause and effect. So you become the lightning, and you understand that what you produce as the lightning is gonna take form through the sound that comes through the thunder. Remember, lightning strikes first. You see the light. That's the fifth dimension. What happens after when it's raining and you see lightning across the sky? If you wait about five, like I love to do this when it's raining. You first see the light, and then you start counting 1, 2, 3, 4. And usually after 4 or 5 seconds, usually it's about 4. So cool, because 4 is manifestation, foundation, 4. But we're not gonna get into that. Let me get into it a little, just a little. Fire, earth, air, and water. These are the 4 elements that make up the physical world. But okay, it's fine. Okay, we're done. All right. So you see the lightning. Wah, 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 wah. No, not even wah, wah, wah. You see the lightning. 1, 2, 3, 4. And after the 4th second, you usually hear wah, 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 wah. So the light is first, because it's the 5th. It's first. It's primary. And after the light, the sound. After the sound, you feel the earth shake. If it was a strong lightning, you feel the earth shake. 3 states. And the earth shaking is basically just, it's how things came into being. Light, the light slows down its vibration, it becomes sound. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. That Word existed in the 5th dimension as light, as thoughts. And then that light, that thought, slowed down its vibration and it became a sound. And then that sound slowed down its vibration and it formed into a physical form. And that you are the form. But the whole time you've been thinking that you are only the form, not knowing that no, the form is merely just an aspect of the light. So you are the light. You are the 5th dimension. And so when they say that the world is moving into the 5th dimension, it's moving into what the Mayans were predicting as 2012 to be the end of the world, which is the end of a paradigm shift. When Jesus was saying, I will be with you until the end of the age. The end of the age was the ending of the cycle of Pisces. And now we're coming into the age of Aquarius. So the sun is moving out of the cycle of 2,000 years in Pisces and it's moving into 2,000 years of Aquarius. And then it's going to move into another sign in another 2,000 years. But what's happening is that as the sun moves, there's another verse that says that there are pains as when a woman is about to give birth. There are those birth pains, contractions. This is what's happening to the earth. When you see the wars, when you see the violence, when you see all these things happening, this chaos, this is the chaos before the order. This is because check this out. What does light do? Light exposes things. So because the world has been so dark for so long, there are entities that are being exposed. There are entities that don't want the earth to ascend. They don't want people to come into the knowledge. So they keep them trapped in religion. They keep them trapped in the school system. They keep them trapped in entertainment. They keep people trapped in jobs, and they keep people trapped in thinking that they are only the body and not knowing that they are the source of what is even providing the body with the vitality to live in the first place. So they keep people docile through the television, through entertainment. Entertainment is just nothing but they are entraining you, indoctrinating you. It's a doctrine. Gospel, it's a God spell. They're keeping you under a spell. In school, you'll be spelling, but not knowing that you are casting spells through the words that you are speaking, because those words are light. Those words are a 5th dimensional thing. So they be bypassing you and tapping into your own metaphysical essence and using your own energy to enslave you. So you become your own enslaver. And so when you see the chaos in the world, that's the light of not just individuals but the collective. Many people in the world are awakening. And so because we are awakening as a collective, we begin to see that, hey, no, some things are crazy. We begin to see like, hey, That's crazy. That's crazy. And these entities have nowhere to dwell anymore. They can't possess certain people anymore. In the dark ages, in thousand, like many years back, they could still easily do it because not many people were aware. Not many people were in light. Not many people were enlightened. But now there's entities, they are light beings walking around in the earth with the third eye fully activated, with the sun shining with that white light. And even without them even knowing, just by you walking past people at the mall or in shopping centers, your light can see past that. It can see things that you can't even see, and the mere fact that it can see, those beings feel uncomfortable. And now they it's like when you shine a light in the darkness and things begin to scatter. That's what's happening, and that's what the fifth dimension is. It's when the collective is coming together. It's when the whole earth is moving into into what they call the photon belt. So more photons are coming onto the earth, more light is coming into the earth. So all these malevolent entities, whether you want to call them greys, reptilians, interdimensional beings from other dimensions, demons, lower thoughts, lower vibrations, lower entities, lower emotions, all of them are being exposed. And this chaos that you are seeing, it's their last attempt to try and keep their place, starting all these wars and all the but it's done. It's failing. Their time is up. Their time is up. It's over. It's done. It's done. Because we have moved. Like the whole thing was, if we had not, I was listening to Credo Mutwa's one of his interviews, and he was talking about how when the Dogons came here, they said that if you human beings do not follow us into the great stars beyond and take your seats, you shall exterminate yourselves and you shall exterminate the world in which you live. And the point where we crossed that threshold was 2012. So before 2012, there was more darkness in the world than light. But after that, we passed the threshold where now there's more light in the world than there is darkness. The world seems crazy, but there's more people that are for love, that are for peace, that are for harmony, that are for joy and caring than there are those who are for killing and hatred. There's more people in the world right now that are more for the vibration of love and light, and that's what the fifth dimension is all about. Family, come on, come on, come on, man, telling me that some alien is gonna come here and land and take you. No, you are the alien that must land in your own lands, in your own body, and discipline yourself and raise your vibration. And I do the same, and then, come on. Oh, come on, family. Come on, stop expecting the government that they're gonna tell you that alien. I mean, during COVID, they said that there's UFOs. No one did anything about, like, no, UFOs, no, I mean, I'm trying not to cough here. You know, like, what will it do? What? It didn't. The exposure, the unveiling, the great secret is always in you. It's when you rise. The fifth dimension is you raising that Kundalini energy. It's you raising that serpentine fire, the serpentine light, that atomic light from inside of you to spark up the wheels of light, the seven churches, the seven stars, the seven lampstands, all of that igniting. You must keep that oil. That oil must burn inside of you. Don't be like those people in the Bible, in that parable where they used up their oil. keep it sacred. And that oil is the cerebrospinal fluid, but it's that sexual energy. But that's another thing. That's another thing. Remember, I keep telling you guys that I'm sharing information with you, but there's another level that I can't share here. Just like, I'll find a way to bring it to you. I will. Trust, I will. But even still now, this is deep. Come on. What? Fifth light? You are light. Come on, family. This is our time. All of us here. You. What? Do you want me to give you a prophecy and hey, there's something in your fridge? No, that's the greatest prophecy, is that you are God you are the light of God enveloped in an envelope. You are God disguised as the human form. In Gnosticism, they say that the gods, I'm going to close it off with this. They say that the gods were afraid of the power of humans, and that they would eventually find the elixir of life, and with the mind, with the spirit, they would dominate. So they didn't know where to hide that divine thing. They could hide in the ocean, in the land. So they said that they would hide it in the one place that man wouldn't look, and that is within inside man. Because man, look at it. We're studying the stars, the oceans, the land, but we've never thought, even though we study the body, we've never thought to look at it spiritually. And that's where all of it is hidden. And once you go back inside in that way, in that spiritual way, you tap into the fifth dimension. The fifth dimension is you. It's inside of you, it's inside of me, and it's inside of all of us, family. It's time. Love is here. Laughter, joy is here. There's chaos, there's wars happening in the Middle East. The Israel and the bomb people, Russia, and come on. But at the same time, there's a whole ascension, and these things are connected. These things are connected. Remember, they're in. Peace, love, and light to you all, family. This has been the fifth dimension, and I hope that you really enjoyed it and you found this. You found something and you learned from it. Peace, much love, and light to you all, family. Blessings.